Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. So today we'll start the new room like junior penetration tester. So in this, the first one is introduction to cybersecurity, and it contains all the three topics which we covered in the first class. Okay, so we'll just leave this and we'll move into the introduction to penetration. So first one is pen testing fundamentals. So yeah, so the first one is like a task one is what is penetration testing. So before teaching you the technical hands-on aspect of ethical hacking, you will need to understand more about what a penetration tester's job responsibilities are and what process are followed in performing pen test. So penetration testing, it is often referred to as the pen test. So this is a security assessment technique which is used to evaluate the security of a computer system, network, or any kind of the applications. It involves like stimulating real-world attacks on systems to identify the types of vulnerabilities and weaknesses that could be exploited by the malicious actors or the hackers. Okay. So the primary objective of penetration testing is to identify potential security flaws or we can say weaknesses before they can be exploited by the unauthorized individuals or the hackers. So by performing controlled attacks on the systems, security professionals can discover vulnerabilities in the infrastructure. So there are multiple stages of the penetration testing, such as planning and reconnaissance, then scanning, exploitation, then post exploitation, and then last one is reporting. So the here it is written like the importance and relevance of cybersecurity are ever increasing and can be in every walk of life. So cybersecurity is relevant to all people in the modern world, including a strong password policy to protect your emails, or to businesses and other organizations needing to protect both devices and data from the damages. So, like, okay, first we'll just move into the task two. So, what is penetration testing ethics? So, the battles of legality and ethics in cybersecurity, let alone penetration testing, is always controversial. Labels like hacking and hacker often hold negative connotations, especially in pop culture, thanks to a few bad apples. So the idea of legally gaining access to a computer system is a challenging concept to grasp. After all, what makes it legal exactly? So penetration testing is an activity that requires adherence to ethical guidelines and professional standards to ensure that it is conducted responsibly and legally. So some of the key ethics considerations for the penetration testing are authorization and consent, okay, which is also known as authorized audit. So penetration testing should only be performed by explicit authorized people, or we can say owner of the system. So consent should be obtained in writing to ensure clarity and avoid any type of legal implications. And unauthorized testing is illegal and can lead to severe consequences. So the penetration testing must be only be performed by the authorized people only. Okay. So this is also known as penetration testing is an authorized audit of computer system security and defenses as agreed by the owners of the system. The legality of the penetration is pretty clear cut in the sense anything that falls outside of this agreement is deemed unauthorized. So consent must be taken by the owner of the system before performing penetration testing. So before a penetration test starts, a formal discussion occurs between the penetration tester and the system owner. Like various tools, techniques, and systems to be tested are agreed on, and this discussion forms the scope of the penetration testing agreement. So the scope of the penetration test should be clearly defined and agreed upon all of the parties which are involved in this test. So it should outline the systems, networks, or we can say applications that are being tested, as well as the parties may also know the limitations and restrictions which are imposed during the testing process. So the connection between the like parties, two parties, like the penetration tester and the system owner. So there must be a good combination between them. Like they must first of all form the scope of the penetration testing. Like they must follow the agreement. Okay, so here, the scope must be clearly defined so that it might be easier for both the parties to recognize. Okay, so companies that provide penetration testing services are held against legal frameworks and industry accreditation. For example, National Cybersecurity Center has a check uh, accreditation scheme in the UK. So ethics is a moral debate between right and wrong, where an action may be legal, it may go against an individual's belief system of right and wrong. So, penetration testers will often be faced with potentially morally questionable decisions during a penetration test. So, for example, they are gaining access to a database and being presented with potentially sensitive data. So, for in this example, if the penetration tester is gaining access to a database, so here, like he must gain access to the database in an ethical way, not in a wrong way. Okay, so or they are perhaps performing a phishing attack on an employee to test an organization's human security. So, penetration testers basically perform these kinds of activities for the benefit of the owner of the system or the organization. So they basically do these activities in order to know the vulnerabilities and weaknesses of the system. Okay, so like hackers are sorted into three hats where their ethics and motivations behind their actions determine what hat category they are placed into. So let's cover these three in the table below. So there are multiple types of hackers. So we will generally talk about the three types of hackers: white hat, gray hat, and black hat. So white hat hackers are considered as the good people. Like they remain under the law and they use their relevant skills and knowledge for the benefit of the other people. So they basically perform the hacking or they perform any type of hacking legally and for the benefit of the people, and they basically try to find the vulnerabilities, and when they find the vulnerability they fix it and then they report to the organization. Okay, so for example, a penetration tester performing an authorized engagement on a company. So this is the example of a white hat hackers. Okay, and the second one is like gray hat hackers. So gray hat hackers, first of all, let me just tell you about the black hat hacker. So black hat hackers, these people are basically the criminal, and they often seek to damage organization or gain some form of financial benefit at the cost of the others. So the main motivation behind the black hat hackers is the financial gain. So they basically try to gain financial benefit from the individuals. So they hack the system or the yeah system so that they can gain various information about the owner, the financial benefit, and they can use those information for the malicious purpose. Okay, so black hat hackers basically they are the bad guys, and the second one is like gray hat. So gray hat somehow they lie between the white hat and the black hat. So, these people use their skills to benefit others often. However, they do not respect, yeah, or follow the law or ethical standards at all times. So, gray hat hackers basically their intention or their actions tell like which type of hackers they are. Okay, so they do not follow any kinds of law or ethical standards all the time. Okay, but they perform in a good way. Okay, they hack in a good way. So next we'll talk about the rules of engagement. So rules of engagement is a document that is created at the initial stages of penetration testing engagement. Like when the penetration testing begins, in the initial stage, the rules of engagement is prepared. Okay. So which is kept in mind, which is prepared by keeping the thing of information of both parties. Okay, like penetration tester and the owner. So this document consists of three main sections, permission, test scope, and rules. So we'll just I will just give you a brief. Like rules of engagement in the like when we talk about the penetration testing. So this refers to the guidelines and agreements that define basically the boundaries, limitations, and what are the expectations of the testing engagement. Okay, so these rules are established and they are mutually agreed upon the penetration testing team and the owner, or we can say individual. Okay, um, and like in the permission, like this section of the document gives explicit permission for the engagement to be carried out. So here the owner of the system basically gives the permission to the penetration tester, like, yes, you can just perform this penetration testing in my system. So he gives the permission. So this permission is essentially to legally protect individuals and organizations for the activity they carry out. Okay. And the next one is like test scope. So the rules of engagement should clearly outline the scope of the penetration testing. Like it must specify the systems, networks, and applications and the infrastructure that will be tested. So it helps to ensure that the testing activities are well focused and conducted within the agreed boundaries. Okay. So, for example, the penetration test may only apply to certain servers or applications, but not the entire network. So here, this in the this section in the test scope, the scope of the penetration testing must be like specifically outlined. Okay, like in what systems, networks, and what applications the test should have to be applied. Okay, so in that way the test scope works. And the next one is like rules. So, like the rules of engagement should outline any specific rules, limitations, or restrictions that apply during the testing process. For example, like it may specify prohibited activities, like this must has to be prohibited, and restricted systems or limitations on testing or techniques to ensure compliance with legal and organizational requirements. So basically, this rules section carries all the rules related to the penetration testing engagement. Okay, like which are the techniques that are permitted, or which are the methods, or which areas are restricted. So everything comes under the rules section. Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll move into the question. Okay. So first one is
Okay.
like you are given permission to perform a security audit on an organization. So what type of hacker would you be?
Blue,
But currently was we are speaking about these three types of hackers, like white, medium,
white,
and black.
white.
Yeah. Okay. So it will be white hat hacker. Okay. Okay. And you attack an organization and steal their data. What type of hacker would you be?
Black.
Okay, black hat. And what document defines how a penetration testing engagement should be carried out?
Mm.
So here I told you like rules of engagement
Rules
in the
of
testing.
engagement.
Yeah, so it will be rules of engagement. Okay, so the next one is penetration testing methodologies. So here, like there are several methodologies commonly used in penetration testing to like systematically guide and like in a structured way the test must be conducted. So these methodologies provide a framework for testers to follow and ensure comprehensive coverage and like results. Okay. So some of the common widely recognized penetration testing methodologies are like OST, OSS, TWM. Okay, so there are multiple like OWASP, OSINT. So there are multiple frameworks. So like penetration tests can have a wide variety of objectives and targets within scope. Because of this, no penetration testing is the same, and there are no one case fits all as to how a penetration tester should approach it. So like there are various steps of like penetration testing. Okay, so like first one is like information gathering. So here,
Okay.
like we the penetration tester basically gathers information about the target system, such as the IP addresses, network topology, then domain names, and publicly available information about the organization. So here in the information gathering, here the data are collected which are like publicly accessible information, sorry, data, okay, like which are publicly accessible, okay. And in the enumeration and scanning part, here the scanning are done in the target network for open ports, like which ports are open or closed, and which services are running, and to see the vulnerabilities using tools like Nmap. Okay, so here like various automated vulnerability scanning are performed using tools like Nessus or OpenVAS to identify the known vulnerabilities in the targeted system. Okay, so in the enumeration system, the details are like user accounts and other relevant informations to gain the deeper understanding of the target. Okay, so here this stage involves discovering applications and what are the services which are running on the systems. So basically here the ports are scanned and the services are checked. Okay,
Okay.
and the other one is exploitation. So here, this is actively attempt to exploit the identified vulnerabilities to gain unauthorized access, escalate privileges, or extract sensitive information. So here, the penetration testers basically they leverage the vulnerabilities and they basically exploit that vulnerabilities in order to like gain unauthorized access into a system or application. So like this stage can involve the use of public exploits or exploitation application logic. So here various like techniques are used such as password cracking, social engineering. Like there are multiple types of technologies which are used in the exploitation in order to gain unauthorized access in that system or application. Okay, and the next one is privilege escalation. So here, this is the attempt to escalate privileges to gain higher levels of access within the target environment. So like once you have successfully exploited a system or application, this stage is the attempt to expand your access to your system. So you can escalate horizontally and vertically, where horizontally is accessing another account of the same permission group, whereas vertically is that of another permission group. So here, uh, like this is the privilege to gain like higher level of access from the lower one. Okay, like for example, if you're having some information, so by using those information, we try to gain some deeper information about that system. So that comes in the privilege escalation. And when we talk about the post exploitation, so here this basically here the establishment of persistent various methods like creating backdoors, planting malware, or we can say leveraging other techniques to maintain access to the compromised system. So here, backdoors are created so that, whenever the penetration tester wants to visit that system, he can just go through the backdoor. So here, like this stage involves a few sub stages, like what other host can be targeted. So like from these system, what other systems can be targeted. This is done, and what additional information can we gather from the host now that we are privileged user. And then here, when the hackers or the penetration tester, when they like perform all these activities, then after that they try to cover their tracks so that no pathways are left for the testers. And next one is like reporting. At last, the all these steps are made as a document and they are reported so that every other user, or we can say the officer who sees the document, they can easily get the like overview like what happened or what was done in this testing. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So did you understand all these stages of the penetration testing?
Yes.
Yeah. So next one is like open source security testing methodology manual. So this is a widely recognized framework for conducting security testing and penetration testing. So it provides a comprehensive and structured approach to access the security of systems and networks. So basically, this is a detailed framework of testing strategies for systems, software applications, and communications, and the human aspect of cybersecurity. So the methodology focuses primarily on how these systems and applications communicate. So it includes a methodology for telecommunications and wired networks and wireless networks. Okay, so here Like the open source security testing methodology manual, like this basically emphasizes the accuracy, integrity, and privacy during the security testing engagement, and this provides a systematic and like defined approach to identify vulnerabilities and then improve overall security posture. So it is valuable resource for like security professionals and various organizations who are seeking to conduct effective security testing and penetration testing. So let's see what are the advantages and disadvantages of like this. So like this covers various testing strategies in depth. Okay, like this basically covers various, we saw the methodologies like telecommunication, wire networks, and wireless networks. And the disadvantage is like this framework is difficult to understand as it is very much detailed, and this tends to use a unique definitions. So as this like gains the strategies in depth, so it is like casual, like it is in very detailed manner. So to understand it, it is very much difficult. Okay. And the next advantage is like this includes testing strategies for specific targets, that is telecommunication and network, as we saw here. And then disadvantage is not given. Okay. So another advantage is like the framework is flexible depending upon the organization need. According to our own need, we can just provide any kind of the changes. And the framework is meant to set a standard for systems and applications, meaning that a universal methodology can be used in a penetration testing scenario. Okay, so the next framework is OWASP. So OWASP stands for Open Web Application Security Project, and this is like a global non-profit organization which is dedicated to improve the security of the software and like web application. So basically, this framework is for mainly for the web applications and services. Okay, so like this improves the security of software and web applications, and OWASP provides resources, tools, and best practices to help individuals and organizations to understand and mitigate the web application security risks. Okay, so the primary focus of the OWASP is on the web application security, but it also covers other areas of application security such as mobile security and API security, and this operates as a commonly driven project. Okay, so let's see the advantages. Like it is easy to pick up and understand, so it is very much common as it is very much focused. So it is easy to understand, and it can be actively maintained and is frequently updated. Okay, so it covers all the stages of engagement from like testing to reporting and the remediation. Like when the risks are identified, from the testing to reporting, and after that the remediation process is also given. And then it specializes in web applications and services. And some of the disadvantages are like it may not be clear what type of vulnerability a web application has. So, like in the web application, also there are multiple types of vulnerabilities such as cross-site scripting and SQL injection. So there are multiple types of vulnerabilities. So to identify, like to have a clear definition about like what type of vulnerability is there in the web application is very much difficult in that. And OWASP does not make suggestions to any type of specific software development life cycles. Okay. And this framework doesn't hold any accreditation such as check. Okay. And the other one is like NIST. So the NIST cybersecurity framework is a popular framework which is used to improve an organization's cybersecurity standards and manage the risk of cyber threats. So this framework is bit of an honorable mention because of its popularity and detail. Okay. So like this helps to improve an organization's cybersecurity standards. Okay. So the framework provides guidelines for security controls and benchmarks for success for organizations from critical infrastructure all through the commercial. So like this provides various guidelines for each organization so that it may improve its cybersecurity standards. And there is a limited section on standard guideline for the methodology a penetration tester should take. So the advantages are like the NIST framework is estimated to be used by the 50% of the American organization. Okay, and the framework is extremely detailed in setting standards to help. So basically, this framework sets the standard for every organization. Okay, and this framework is very much like frequently it is updated, and this provides accreditation for organizations that use this framework. And then this framework is designed to be implemented alongside other frameworks. Okay. So disadvantages are like NIST has many iterations of frameworks. Like it must be, or like it may be difficult to decide which one applies to your organization. So this provides multiple standards. So among like choosing among them is very much difficult. Okay. So the NIST framework has weak auditing policies. Like it makes it difficult to determine how a breach occurred. So these are some of the disadvantages and advantages. You just go through that. Okay. So the last one is like NSC CAP. The Cyber Assessment Framework is an extensive framework for 14 principles used to assess the risk of various cyber threats and organizations' defense against these. So this framework applies to organizations considered to perform vitally important services and activities, such as critical infrastructure, banking, and the likes. And the framework mainly focuses on access the following topics like data security and system security. So, like these frameworks are basically like they are run by the government cybersecurity agencies, and like this covers like here it is written like this covers the 14 principles, which ranges from security to responses. Okay, so you just go through advantages and disadvantages. We'll just move into the questions. So, like here it is asked like so the first question is given like, what stage of penetration testing involves using publicly available information? So like here we have learned about the stages, right? So among these, which was like where we can get the publicly accessible information?
Information gathering.
Yeah. So it will be information gathering. And then if you want to use a framework for pen testing or telecommunication, what framework would you use? So uh, for the telecommunications and like wired and wireless one, it was this one, open source one. Okay. And then what framework focuses on testing of web applications? So particularly for the web application, it was OWASP.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So great. Now we'll just move into like black box, white box, and gray box testing. So, like black box, gray, and white are three distinct approaches to software testing, each with its own characteristics and objectives. So, like black box testing, uh, this is testing basically focuses on testing the software applications from like external perspective, like without having any kind of the knowledge of its internal structure. So, like here, the testing is done in the uh, like this basically focuses on like testing the software application from its external way without having any kind of the information. Okay, like here nothing is like no information is given to the penetration testers. Okay, so the goal of the black box testing is to evaluate the software's functionality, user interface, inputs and outputs while assessing how well it is like it meets the specified requirements. So like here, the testers perform black box testing by treating the software as a black box, like having no knowledge about the, like no information about the system, and then design test cases based on expected inputs and desired outputs. So they do not have access to the internal code or the design information. Okay. So black box testing is effective at identifying issues related to incorrect or missing functionality. So here it is useful for validating the software's behavior from a user's perspective. So this testing can involve interacting with the interface such as the buttons and testings to see whether the intended result is returned or not. Okay. So here in the black box testing, the main thing is like here no information is given to the penetration tester. Okay. And the next one is like gray box testing. So gray box testing combines elements of both black box and white box testing approaches. So testers have some partial knowledge about like internal workings of the software applications. So the objective of like gray box testing is to leverage the limited knowledge of the internal structure to design its like result. Okay. So yeah, only some of the partial like limited knowledge is given to the testers. Okay, and in the white box testing, like this involves testing the software application, having the knowledge of the internal structure, design, and implementation details. So the objective of like white box testing is to assess the internal logic, structure, and then flow of the software. So your testers perform white box testing by examining the source code. Okay, so here the difference between these three were like in the black box, no information is given. In the gray box, some partial information is given, and the white box testing, the full information is given. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So now the question is, you are asked to test an application, but are not given access to its source code. So what testing process is this?
Okay, box.
No, here only the application is given and nothing is given. Okay, only just you have the software and no information is given. So it will be black box. Okay,
Box.
got it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then you are asked to test a website, and you are given access to the source code. What testing process is this?
Mm,
Like here you are given the access to the source code, right? The internal.
White.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just move into the practical section. So here, like Acme has provided you for an assignment. They want you to carry out the stages of penetration test on this infrastructure. View the site by clicking the green button on the task and follow the guided instructions to complete this exercise. So we'll just start this practical. So in this task, we need to find a flag. Okay, so let's go through the first one is like rules of engagement, the documentation. Okay, so let's go through the stages of the penetration test assignment for the Acme company. This stage of the penetration test is where you define three primary objectives, cycle through the steps. Okay, so in the rules of engagement, there were three sections, right? Like permission, test scope, and the that permission, test scope, and the rules. So for a
Okay.
penetration test to be ethical and legal, both parties, the company waiting to wanting to test their application for vulnerabilities, and the company conducting the pen test will sign a document giving clear permission for the intended action. So, like, we want to follow these steps to get the flag. So we'll just click on next. Okay, like this is the pen test engagement, and Alice will skip the forensic report. Like, okay, so we will just click on next. And the second step is information gathering step. So, like the information gathering stage of an engagement is often undervalued. This stage involves using publicly accessible channels to collect intel on your target. Who has a public profile on LinkedIn, advertises that she works for Acme and even includes her email in her bio, which is a possible way we can target her work laptop and thus the company. So here, like one person, the LinkedIn profile is shown here with the like email disclosed, the email. So after we'll just move into the next step. The next step is like enumeration and scanning. So here, the IP is given. So the goal of this stage is to get a complete picture of your target. A penetration tester will try to identify user accounts, machines on their network, network shares, applications, etc. Information gathered from stage two. So here, an engagement scope document will help in enumerating your target. The enumeration phase is very important as your findings are used to exploit your target systems. So let's pretend Abby from stage two made a post on LinkedIn sharing a blog post she wrote about Acme. From this post, you find Acme's web server's IP address. From that post, we founded the IP address. Okay, so we'll just try scanning it. So we'll just write here IP address 93.37.50.151. and we'll just quickly start this scan. So as we got the IP address and we made a scan, okay. So here, wrong IP address, okay. Let's see once again, 96, 37, 50, and 151. Okay, so here you can just see like starting vulnerability scan for this is the IP address. Service is vulnerable, like this target system is vulnerable, and web is yes, and login we cannot make the login. Okay, so like after elimination, we got over like the next step will be exploitation and the post-exploitation modules. So here, the exploitation stage involves the knowledge from your enumerations to now identify and exploit vulnerabilities in any of their applications. For example, we enumerated Acme's website in stage 3 and found that it was vulnerable, right? So we would now exploit this vulnerability, thus ethically hacking Acme's website. So now the here the hacking process has been performed. Okay, so here, the target machine is being attacked using a tool called Metasploit. So here, the this tool is named as Metasploit. So here, the tester is basically performing the he is attacking the target by using the Metasploit tool. Okay, and the next step is post exploitation. So the post exploitation stage starts when you have gained unauthorized access to a system. At this stage of the engagement, your main goal will be to maintain access to a system and escalate your privileges within the system to a super user or administrative user. Systems are usually set up with normal users that don't have access to various sensitive files. Okay, so it's basically given the knowledge about the post exploitation. So here in this, like practical, nothing was there. Like it has only just demonstrated the like all the stages of the penetration testing. Okay, like how it works. Okay, so nothing
Okay.
was there here. And so here in the last step in the report, we got the like flag. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was only the overview of like how the stages works. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Great. So pen testing fundamentals has been completed. So we'll just move into the next one. That is principles of security. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So the following room is going to outline some of the fundamental principles of information security and the framework used to protect data and systems to the elements of what exactly make data secure. The measures, frameworks, and protocols discussed throughout this room all play a small part in defense in depth. So defense in depth is the use of multiple varied layers of security to an organization's system and data in the like hopes that multiple layers will perform like provide redundancy in an organization's security perimeter. So let's proceed this. And the task two, the topic is the CIA triad. So the CIA triad is an information security model that is used in like consideration throughout creating a security policy. This module has an extensive background ranging from being used in 1998 and like we have read about this also in the previous classes like CIA stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So I think we have the knowledge about this, right? So we'll just move further
Yeah.
in the question, like what element of CIA triad ensures that data cannot be altered by unauthorized people?
Integrity.
Okay, so this will be integrity. And then what element of CIA triad ensures that data is available?
Availability.
Okay. And then what element of CIA triad ensures that data is only accessed by authorized people?
Confidential.
Okay. Yeah. So next one is principles of privileges. So it is the vital to administrate and correctly define the various levels of access to an information technology system individuals require. The levels of access given to individuals are determined on two primary factors: the individual's role function within the organization, the sensitivity of the information being stored on the system. So, like two key concepts are used to assign and manage the access rights of individuals, and the two concepts are like privileged identity management and privileged access management. So initially, these two concepts can seem to overlap. However, they are different from one another. PIM, that is Privileged Identity Management, is used to translate a user's role within an organization into an access role onto a system. And like the user has what access to the system, okay? And whereas PAM is the management of the privileges a system's access role has amongst all others. So what does what privileges has the system access role? Okay. So, what is essential when discussing privilege and access control is the principle of least privileges. And simply, users should be given the minimum amount of privileges and only those that are absolutely necessary for them to perform their duties. Other people should be able to trust what people write to. As we previously mentioned, PAM incorporates more than assigning access. It also encompasses enforcing security policies such as password management, auditing policies, and reducing the attack software system. So basically, PIM, basically PIM, this basically translate the user, like what the user has or user of the organization can access into a system. Okay, and whereas PAM, this basically enforces security policies such as password management and auditing. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is the acronym of PIM stand for? So it was yeah, Privileged Identity Management, and then PAM it was Privileged Access Management.
Privilege access knowledge.
Okay. So like if you want to manage the privileges a system access role had, what methodology would you use? Okay.
Mm. Team.
No, here it is asked to manage the privileges a system access role had, like what the system access basically carries, we can say.
Okay.
So it will be, I think, PAM. Let's see. Yeah. And then if you want to create a like system role that is based on user's role. So yeah, various like system access are basically held in the PAM and in the PIM. Basically, this here the according to the user's role, the responsibilities are like assigned. Okay, like what it can like what the user can access in the system. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So next, now the security models continued. Okay. So before discussing security models further, let's recall the three elements of CIA triad. Okay, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. We have previously outlined what these elements are and their importance. So according to a security model, any system or piece of technology storing information is called an information system, which is how we will reference the systems and devices in their tasks. So the first one is model is Bella Padula model. So the Bella Padula model is used to achieve confidentiality. Okay. So this model has a few assumptions like such an organization's hierarchical structure it is used in, where everyone's responsibility roles are well defined. Okay. So this model works by granting like this model like grants the access like privileged access. Okay, like which user has what access or what privilege. Okay, so this is similar to confidentiality, like only the authorized user one, and the advantages is like that. Just a second. Okay. So here, in advantages, like policies in this model can be replicated to real life organizations and hierarchies. So here the policies can be like generally they can be replicated to real life organization, like where each user has its own privilege. Okay, like right, like which user can access to which system. So the second advantage is like this is simple to implement and understand, and has been proven to successful. Okay, and the disadvantage is like even though a user may not have the access to an object, they will know about its existence. So its confidentiality, like it's not like that confidential. Okay. So here basically Bella Padula model basically it grants access to the each user, and the main disadvantage is like here the user may not like even though they may not have the access to the system, but they know its existence. Okay. So the another disadvantage is like the model relies on large amount of trust within the organization. Okay. So next one is like Beaver model. So the Beaver model is arguably the equivalent of the Bella Padula model, but for the integrity of the CI triad. Okay. This model applies that the rule to objects and subjects that can be summarized as no write up, no read down. Okay. So here, like it is similar to the integrity, like there can be no write up. So this rule means that subjects can create or write content to the objects at or below their level, but can only read the content of the object. So here the basic thing is like the if the user has the privilege, if the user is assigned as a normal employee. So he has the access of the all employee like information, and it's like down level information also, but he do not have the access to like administrator level. Okay, so basically this Beaver model speaks that only. So when we talk about the advantages, so this model is simple to implement, and this resolves the limitation of the Bella Padula model by addressing both confidentiality and data integrity. Okay, and the disadvantage is like that there will be many levels of access and objects. Things can be easily overlooked when applying security controls. So, like, there will be many levels of access and objects. Things can be easily overlooked. Okay. So here, there will be many levels of access. Like each user has its own privileges. So here, like, if the higher organization, like higher authority, has its privilege of its level and also the down level, so it has all the access to the for example if the administrator one he has the access of the administrator system. Okay, right, but he also has the access to the employees information also. So basically this is the disadvantage, and this often results in delays with a business. For example, a doctor would not be able to read the notes made by a nurse in a hospital with this model. Okay. So now we'll just move into the question like, what is the name of the model that uses the rule can't read up and can read down? So it was here, right? In the Bella Padula model, I think. Yeah, like no write down and no read up. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so this will be Bella Padula model. Mm, okay. Okay. And then what is the name of the model that uses the rule can read up and but can't read down?
Bill Bar model.
It will be Viva model. And if you were military, what security model would you use?
Um, Biba model. I don't know. Bella powder.
Yeah, it will be this one. And then if you were a software developer, what security model would the company perhaps use?
Beamer model.
Yeah. Okay. And the next one is threat modeling and incident response. So threat modeling is the process of evaluating or trying to improve and testing the security measures in place in an organization's information infrastructure and service. Okay. So this is the basically process of evaluating and trying to improve and test the security protocols. Okay. And identifying likely threats that an application or system may face, as well as the vulnerabilities that a system or application could be vulnerable to, is a crucial stage of threat modeling process. Okay, so the threat modeling process is very similar to the risk management in workplaces for employees and customers. The principles all return to like preparation, identification, and mitigation review. Like in the risk assessment, the what were the steps? Like first of all, we have to like prepare our team for the risk assessment. Okay, like we have to assign every privileges to each user in that team, so that everyone must be prepared. And the next one is like identification. So in the identification stage here, the risk is identified. Like what is the risk which has been occurred in our system? So basically, the risk is identified here. And in the mitigation, preventive steps are provided for the mitigation of the risk. And in the review part, at last, the reports are made and then the it is reviewed. Okay. So similarly, the threat model also includes the threat intelligence, identification, mitigation capabilities, and risk assessment. So, to help with this, there are frameworks such as STRIDE and PASTA. So, let's detail STRIDE below. First of all, the STRIDE. So, STRIDE stands for like spoofing, tampering, reputation, information disclosure, and denial of service and elevation of privileges. So, spoofing, this principle requires you to authenticate requests and users accessing a system. Spoofing involves a malicious party falsely identifying itself as another. So here, basically, some person, like hacker, they basically spoof their identity. Like they fake their identity in the spoofing part. Okay, and the tampering one, like by providing anti-tampering measures to system or application, you help provide integrity to the data. So data that is accessed must be kept integral and accurate. So here in the tampering part, the data must be tampered. Okay, like they may not like here the anti-tampering measures are like provided to the system so that it maintains the integrity of the data. Okay, and the repudiation basically stands for like if a sender has sent any of the information to the like message to the receiver, so he cannot deny like he has not sent the message. Okay, so repudiation basically states that, and in the information disclosure, like applications or services that handle information or multiple user needs to be approximately configured to only show information relevant to the owner is shown. So here, like information disclosure, here only relevant information must be shown to the relevant owner of the data. Okay, and the denial of service, application services use up system resources. These two things should have measures in place so that abuse of the application services won't result in bringing the whole system down. So there must be no case of like denial of service where multiple we can say the requests are flooded into the software so that it may not the system may not down. Okay, so basically it must prevent that also. And elevation of privilege. So this is the worst case scenario for an application of service. It means that a user was able to escalate their authorization to that of a higher level, that is administrator. So here, any of the normal user was able to escalate its privilege. Okay, so here, in the incident response, this is the incident response management of phases. Like as I told you in the preparation part, all the resources and plans are made and the teams are made for the security incident when it occurs. And the identification here, the incident, which incident has been occurred, like what attack has been occurred, it is identified. And in the containment part, for example, if the attacker has attacked one of the system of an organization, So here that system is like contained so that it may not affect or it may not spread to the other systems. And then eradication, like that incident or the threat or the attack is being like eradicated, it is removed. And then in the recovery part, like various preventive measures and recovery remedial impacts, or we can say remedial processes are taken place so that it must recover to its normal stage. And the lessons learned, like what were the lessons learned from this incident which was occurred, so that it may not occur in the future. Okay, so that's it
Yeah,
for this.
like the steps, one after another.
What?
Are these like the steps for one after another?
Yeah, these are the steps. Okay, these are
Okay.
the steps of incident response. So we'll just move on to the question, like what model outlines spoofing? So spoofing was like stride, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so this will be stride. And what does the acronym IR stand for? So here the IR stands for incident response. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then you are tasked with adding like some measures to an application to improve the integrity of the data. So what stride principle is this? So here you have to add like some measures to applications to improve the integrity. So here in the tampering part, we have like learned like here it provides the integrity to the data, right? So it will be tampering. And then an attacker has penetrated your organization's security and stolen data. It is your task to return the organizations to business as usual. So what incident response stage is that? Like here you have to like return the organization to its like normal stage. Okay. So it will be recovery, right? So I have told you you're like recovering it to the normal stage. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this has been also completed the principles of security, and the next one we'll see will be uh, okay. The introduction to pen testing has been completed, so we will just move into introduction to web hacking. So there are multiple topics here. We'll just take 10 minutes of break, and after that we will just continue. Okay?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so let's start this, okay?
Okay.
So next topic is working and application. So in this room, you will learn how to manually review a web application for security issues using only the inbuilt tools in your browser. So more often than not, automated security tools and scripts will miss many potential vulnerabilities and useful information. So here's a short breakdown of the inbuilt browser tools uh, you will throughout use throughout this room. Okay. So first one is like view source. So the view source scheme is used by some of the web browsers to construct like URIs that result in the browsers displaying the source code. Okay, so here you can this browser like use your browser view the human readable source code of a website. So with the view source, we can just view the human readable source code of any of the website, and we can make changes according to that. Okay, so next one is like inspector. So learns how to inspect page elements and make changes to view usually block content. So here we can just check about like all the page elements what it carries, and we can make changes to view usually block content. Okay, so which are not allowed by the website. We can just view that also. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. And then next one is like debugger. So this is the tool that allows us to examine the stage. Just- mm, Okay. So this will allow us to examine the state of running program. Like debugging is the process of locating and then removing bugs and errors in a program. So this basically inspects and control the flow of the JavaScript. Okay, like the JavaScript the page contains. Okay. And the network one, like it sees all the network requests a page makes, like what are the network protocols or what are the topologies which are used and what changes we can make in the network section. It basically tells that. Okay. So we have to start the virtual machine on this task. Okay. Then we'll just move on to exploring the website. So as a penetration tester, your role when reviewing website or a web application is to discover features that could potentially be vulnerable and attempt to exploit them to assess whether or not they are. So these features are usually parts of the websites that require some interactivity with the user. So finding interactive portions of the websites can be easy as spotting a login from form to manually reviewing the website's JavaScript. So, like one best example of JavaScript is like that. For example, in the website, like in a form, like a website contains a form. Okay, so we can say if we want to like copy the like any content from that website. So basically, some of the websites, what they do, like they basically enable the they basically disable the JavaScript. Okay, so like if you it do not allow you to like copy the content. So if you want to copy the content, you have to just enable the JavaScript. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So an excellent place to start is just with your browser exploring the website and noting down the individual pages, areas, features. Okay. So example site review from the Academy IT support website would look something like this. So this is the home page. Okay. uh, slash stands for the home page, and if the slash news, so this will basically give the latest news. Then slash news slash article ID one. So this will basically show the article one. Okay, and the contact page slash contact will show you the contact page, and slash customer will show you the customer page. Okay, and customer login will show you the login section again. So these were some of the like we can say URLs. Okay, so we'll just move into the next one, viewing the page source. So here the page source is the human readable code returned to a browser client from the web server. So the return code is made up of HTML, okay, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and it's what tells us browser what content to display. So how do I view the page source? So while visiting a website, you just right click on the page and you just click on the like view page source. From here, you can just see the source page of that particular page. Okay, so this is basically the combination of HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So now let's view some page source. So try viewing the page source of the home page of the Acme IT support website. Unfortunately, explaining everything you can see here is well out of the scope of this room, and you will need to look into website design development courses to understand it fully. What we can do is like pick out bits of information that are of important to us. So at the top of the page, you will notice some code starting with okay. So we'll just it is asking us for the IT Acme IT support page. Okay. So I think this one is the page. Mm, okay. So let's see. It's not loading up. Okay. Yeah. So now uh how we can just view the page source of this page. So when we just click on the view page source, so this is the like page source, right? So here yeah, okay. So at the top of the page, you will notice some code starting with this and ending with this. Okay. So here you can just see this is the starting and ending. Okay. So these are the comments, right? In the view source page, in this way we can just write the comments. Okay.
Okay.
And comments are message left by the website developer, to like easy for the easy understanding of the code. Okay. So these comments don't get displayed on the actual web page. This comment describes how the home page is temporary while a new one is in development. Okay. So here it is written like this page is temporary while we work on the new page, and the new page tab is like link is also given here. Okay. So links to different page in HTML are written in the anchor tags. So like anchor tag here and the href here. This basically gives the link for any of other kind of the like page. Okay. And so if you further view down the page source, there is a hidden link to page starting with okay, here. This is the hidden link like secret hyphen page. Okay. So this is the secret like page. And we obviously wouldn't get a flag in real world situation. but you may discover some private area used by the business for storing company staff or customer information. So external files such as CSS, JavaScript, and images can be included within the HTML code. So we'll just move into the questions, right? So like, what is the flag from the HTML comment? So here it is asked like, what from this comment, what is the HTML like? What was the question? From the HTML comment, what is the flag? Okay. So what we will do, like, it is asked like, this is the temporary page. So and the new one is this. So we'll just copy this and we'll just paste it into the URL. Okay. Yeah. And now it has been forwarded to the new one. Okay. So here we got the flag. Okay. Did you understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the next one is like, what is the flag from the secret link? So, like it was told, like this was a secret page, right? So here, let me check. Is there any flag? So yeah. So here also another flag. So we'll just copy and paste. Okay. And then what is the directory listing flag? So for the directory listing flag, we have to find the directories here. Okay. So. mm, So here you see here in the source part, right? In the HRF also and in the source also, there is a asset like directory. So the directory and inside there are various JS files. Here also like here also some CSS file are there like bootstrap min.css, style.css, and here some min.js files are there. So I think like we should get inside this asset of directory. So let's just get inside this. Okay. So you can just see here. Okay. So these were only the flags. Sorry, flags. I think the folders right here in the source code we got like bootstrap.min.css. So here also the same thing are there. Okay. So these are the like we can say the files here. So let me just check what we can get from these files. Okay, there was a flag.txt. So let me check, will this work? Okay, so this was the flag. So here, the directory was assets. Okay, like in the this page, we got a directory named assets. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. And the next one is like, what is the framework flag? So framework. um, Okay, here you can see like page generated in zero point 0.2 seconds using the CHM framework. Okay, so here our link is given right here. So let me just check what is this link for. Okay, so this is giving me something like home change log documentation. So your version is given like 1.3 and the home. Okay, this is the home page and change log. We can just change. We have an issue where our backup was creating a file in the web directory. So here again a directory is given like /tmp.zip. So let's check this also. Like what is this? A tmp.zip. Okay, some zip folder is being downloaded. So we'll just open this, and there's a flag text document. Okay, let's open. So here is the flag. Okay. So in this way, basically we can just we can just get the help of the source page. Okay,
Okay.
so these are like okay. So the next one is the next one we'll see will be a developer tools inspector, like from the inspect one. Like this is the inspector, like inspect for inspector. Okay, so when we just write, like we can just go into inspect, and these are some of the like sections like elements, sources, network. So what it is written, we'll see like developer tools. Every modern browser includes developer tools, that is a toolkit used to aid web browsers, sorry, developers in debugging web applications, and this gives you a peek under the hood of a website to see what is going on. So as pen tester, we can leverage these tools to provide us with a much better understanding of the web application. So opening developer tools, the way to access developer tools is different for every browser. If you are not sure how to access it, click on the View Set button on the top right of this task to get instructions to how to access the tools for your browser. So let's see, like in the Firefox, we can just go into the web developer and we can just get the web developer tools. And currently we're using the Chrome, so when we write, okay, in the more tools, we can just go into the developer tools. Okay.
Okay.
So these are some of the way, and the next one is like inspector. So the page source doesn't always represent what's shown on the web page. Okay, so this is because CSS, JavaScript, and user interaction can change the content and style the page, which means we need a way to view what's being displayed in the browser. Okay, so like when we just go into the view page source one, when the changes are made, it basically do not show any kind of the changes in the website. So if we want to like view that changes in our website, we have to take the help of the inspector page. Okay. So element inspector assists us with this by providing us with a live representation of what is currently on the website. So as well as viewing this live view, we can also edit and interact with the page elements, which is helpful for web developers to debug issues. On the Acme IT support website, click into the news section where you will see three news articles. So here in the news section, we have to like it will show us like three tips for people. Okay, like it will give us three news. Okay, like three news articles. But this article is for our premium customers. Okay, okay. So the first two articles are readable, but the three has been blocked. Okay, so let's see like first one. This is readable, right? And the second one, this is also readable. But the third one, it was asking for the like premium customers, right?
Okay.
So yeah, but the third one has been blocked with a floating notice about above the content saying that you have to be premium customer to view the article. These flooding boxes blocking the page contents are often referred to as the paywalls. So these are the the notice which are which has been shown here. These are known as paywalls, as they put up a metaphorical wall in front of the content you wish to see until you pay. Okay, so right clicking on the premium notice paywall, you should be able to select the inspect option from the menu. So here, by right clicking here, we'll just go in the inspect page, and after that, which opens the developer tools either on the bottom or right hand side. Okay, this is the developer tool. Okay, and you will notice, sorry, you will now see the elements HTML that make up the website. So these are the HTML codes. So like locate the div element with the class premium customer blocker and click on it. So we have to just see the div element here in the this section. So here is the div class. So the in the div element, the class was premium customer blocker. So here I can see here in the div class, premium customer blocker is there. I will just click it, and you will see all the CSS styles in the style box. So the style, this is the style box. Okay, this is the this is the style box in the style section. So these are all the styles. So here, uh, okay, such as it has the content such as margin, top 60 px, and and center. So the style we are interested is in the display block. Okay. So here was the display block, right? So if you click on the word block, you can type a value of your own choice. So try typing none, and this will make the box disappear. So let us check. Like here, I will just click it, and there I will just write it none. So here you can just see the text has been like the paywall has been removed right here.
Okay.
Uh, Yeah. So like the question was, what is the flag behind the paywall? So here the flag is hidden, not so hidden. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this way we can just get the flags. Okay. And the next one is developer tools debugger. So in a debugger, like this panel in the developer tool is intended for debugging JavaScript, and again is an excellent feature for web developers wanting to work out why something might not be working. But as penetration testers, it gives us the option for digging deep into the JavaScript code. In Firefox and Safari, this feature is called debugger, but in the Google Chrome, it is called source. So we'll just see here, there is a section called sources, right? So we have to work here. This is the debugger. So once the Acme IT support website, click on the contact page. Each time the page is loaded, you might see a rapid flash of red on the screen. So we have to just move into the contact page. So you can just see there's a like this. There was a some red flag, right?
Okay.
So we are going to use a debugger to work out what this red flag is and if it contains anything interesting. So in both the browser on the left hand side, you see a list of all the resources the current web page is using. So here these are all the resources which are like this page is using. Like in the asset page, there was some files, right? So these are the JavaScript files. So we have to work here only. So again, it is written like okay, so if you click into the asset folder, you will see a file named flash.min.js. Clicking on this file displays the contents of the JavaScript file. So flash.min.js, this is the folder. So this will display all the content here. And many times when viewing JavaScript files, you will notice that everything is on one line, which is because it has been minimized, which means all the formatting has been removed to make the file smaller. Okay. So, the file is no exception to this, and it has been obfuscated, which makes it purposely difficult to read. So, it can be copied as easily by the developers. So, we can return some of the formatting by using the pretty print option. So, we have to find the pretty print option, there is not there. Okay, which looks like two braces. Okay, two braces. Okay, these are the pretty print. Okay, so to make it a little more readable, although due to the obfuscation, it's still difficult to comprehend what is going on with the file. If you scroll to the bottom of the flashmin.js file, you will see the line flash remove. So let's scroll down, and here you can just see flash remove, right? So what we have to do is like we have to click it. Okay, this little bit of JavaScript is what is removing. Okay, so after clicking it, we have to click this. Okay, so when we just click this and when we just refresh this page, you can see this like a red flash has been stopped. Earlier it was like uh, showing for like 2 seconds, but now it has been paused, right? Paused on the breakpoint. Okay, so in
Yeah.
this way, yeah, in this way we can just oh, so did you understand this? Was it easy?
Yes, understood.
CHM catch me if you can. Okay. So here the question was like, what is the flag in the red box? So it was THM, catch me if you can. Okay. So then the next one is like developer tools networks. So there's again section named network. So we have to work in this now. So okay, the network tab on the developer tools can be used to keep track of every external request a web page makes. If you click on the network tab and then refresh the page, you will see all the files the page is requesting. Okay, when we just click on the network tab and then refresh the page, okay, in the inspect the network section, when we just refresh this page, we will see some of the yeah. So here these are the like folders, right?
Okay.
Sources. Yeah. So try doing the this on the contact page. Okay. So with the network tab open, try filling in the contact form and pressing the send message button. So here, okay, we'll just remove this network one. Okay. When I just write any kind of the message here, and I will just send this message. So contact form send. So here you can just see there is a folder again. It was generated right now. Contact message. So I'll just click this one, and uh, here is a flag, a THM header flag. Okay, so I will just copy this. Let me just check. No, this is not the flag. So what is the flag shown on the contact message network request? Okay, once again, let us check this. Okay, this was again next one. This is on the flag. Okay, DHM header flag. Let me just check this. It's wrong. In the request, in the request, network request, okay, the responses, let's see. There is no response. Okay. Okay, we got the message right here. So this is the flag, okay? Like message was received and this is the flag, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, great. So this was all about like this was easy, right? Like working with the like inspect page and the view source page.
Yes, I understood.
Yeah. So now we'll just move into another um, task. Or okay, so now we'll just see the content delivery discovery. So Okay, so what is content discovery? Firstly, we should ask in the context of web application security, what is the content? So content can be many things, a file, video, picture, backup, or a website feature. So when we talk about content discovery, we are not talking about the obvious things we can see on the website. It's the thing that aren't immediately presented to us and that weren't always intended for the public access. Okay, so these are the private data. So this content could be, for example, pages or portals intended for staff usage, older versions of the websites, backup files, configuration files, and administration panels, etc. So there are three main ways of discovering content on a website, which we will cover. Like the three ways are like manually, automated, and OSINT. Okay. So like start the tag box. Okay. So what is the content discovery method that begins with M? So it is manually, right? Okay. And what is the content delivery discovery method that begins with A? So it will be automated and which starts with O. So it will be OSET. Okay. So now there are multiple places we can manually check on a website to start discovering more content. Okay, let me start this. Okay. So there are multiple places we can manually check on a website to start discovering more content. So the first one we are the method we are using is manual discovery. Okay. The first one is like robot.txt. The robot.txt file is a document that tells search engines which pages they are and aren't allowed to show on their search engine results for banned specific services. Search engines from crawling the website altogether. So this basically like tells search engine that which pages they are like not allowed and to show on the search engine or we can say which are banned. Okay, so it can be common practice to restrict certain website areas so that so they aren't displayed in the search engine result. So these pages may be areas such as administrative portals or files meant for the website customers. So these are the like administration portals or files which are being kept private, right? So this file gives us like great list of locations on the website that the owner don't want us to discover. So like robot.txt gives a list of locations of the website on website. Okay, like which are kept private. So take a look at the robot.txt file on the Acme IT support website to see if they have anything they don't want to list. To open this, use and enter this URL. So I'll just open this URL. Mm, okay. Okay. So let's just move to task three. We'll just let the machine to open, and we'll just come back to this. So manual discovery favicon. So favicon, the favicon is a small icon displayed in the browser's address bar or tab used for branding a website. Sometimes when frameworks are used to build a website, a favicon that is a part of the installation gets left over. And if the website developer doesn't replace this with a custom one, this can give us a clue on what framework is it in. So OWASP hosts a database of common framework icons that you can use to check against the targets. And uh, like Favicon, okay, once we know the framework stack, we can use the external resources to discover more about it. Okay. These are the favicon database. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, and this one let me just check. Open. Okay, let's give it time. Okay, so here in the practical exercise, like on the attack box, open Firefox and enter the URL HTTP static labs. Okay, so here you will see a basic website with our note saying website coming soon. So here the note website coming soon. So if you look at your tabs, you will notice an icon that confirms this site is using a favicon. So this is using a favicon, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So during the page source, you will see line 6 contains a link to the image favicon. So page source. Okay, there is an image link right here. So we'll just open this, and this is the image, okay, which was like favicon, okay. So
Okay.
okay, if you run the following command on the tag box, it will download the favicon and get its MD5 hash value, which you can then look up on the this. Okay, okay, this is basically the MD5 hash value. Okay, like for each websites, these are the MD5. Like for each favicon, these are the like we can say the MD5 hash value. So okay, let's first okay. We'll just open the terminal, and there we will just run the command on the tag box. So the command is curl https, okay, https static hyphen labs dot tryhackme dot cloud sites favicon, then images, then favicon dot pico, and then pipeline, then MD5 sum. We want the MD5, right, of this like favicon. So we'll just enter this, and this is the favicon right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just go into here, and we'll just mm, it's not go. Okay, F276B 76B. So here, this is the this one 35F. Yeah. So this is the MD5 value. Okay, this one.
Okay.
Okay. So again, after what we have to do, like note this curl will fail on the attack box if you are a free user. Okay. So we got the algorithm. So what framework did the favicon belong to? So like which framework the favicon here belong to? So this will be this okay. Okay. Yeah. So this was quite simple, and you get to know about the curl tool also. Like yeah, curl the tool, which is basically used to get the MD5 hashes. Okay.
Okay.
I'll just close this. Oh, why it's not opening? Okay, let me check in this here in this firewall.
Okay.
Okay. Ten dot 10 dot 39 dot 12 slash robots dot txt. Yeah. So here, this is the robot.txt for this IP address. Okay. So for like this IP address. Okay. So like what is the directory in the robot.txt that isn't allowed to be viewed by the web crawlers? So this is disallowed. So this is the you can see the directory. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So staff portal. Okay, great. And the next one is our manual discovery site map.xml. So site map.xml, unlike the robot.txt file, which restricts what search engine crawlers can look at. So the sitemap.xml file gives a list of every file that website owners wishes to be listed on a search engine. These are sometimes contain areas of the website that are bit more difficult to navigate to or even list some older web pages so that the current site no longer uses but are still working behind the scenes. So like the web pages are like currently they are no longer in use but uh, they are working behind the scenes. Okay, so the site map basically XML basically tells this. Okay, so take a look at the sitemap dot .xml file on the FBA IT support website to see if there's any new content we haven't there discovered. So I'll just click on it and uh, leave it. Okay, so it was a site map dot XML. Okay, okay. So what is the path to secret area that can be found in the sitemap dot XML file? So we have to find any secret area. So